Ladies, gentlemen, youth, fellow participants, Assalamu alaikum, good afternoon, and welcome to this very special panel discussion on creating a sustainable legacy, how young people can drive climate mitigation, which is co-organized by Youth for Sustainability Masdar Initiative and Abdulla Gurair Foundation. It's quite an honor for me to be here moderating this panel in the lead-up of COP28 in the UAE, where this country has shown a very remarkable commitment to addressing the challenges of climate change. Climate change has emerged as one of the greatest challenges of our time, affecting every corner of the globe and demanding super urgent action. As we gather here today, we recognize that the burden of addressing this crisis falls not only on the shoulders of the current generation, but also on the young people who will inherit this planet. Their energy, their passion, their innovative thinking are key to paving the way for a sustainable future. We at Abdulla Gurair Foundation are always proud of our partnership with the Youth for Sustainability Initiative. This initiative that acts as an outreach platform, invests and actively supports the development of our most valuable asset, the youth, with this objective of enabling them to become the sustainability leaders of tomorrow. At the foundation, we have always been committed to the SDGs, to the Sustainability Development Goals, and in particular, on the Nexus model. We do believe in authentic partnership. We do believe in engagements of different stakeholders to really make a change in this world. And we can never think of a better partner than the youth to work with. For example, we do have a lot of programs that inherent in them is sustainability programs that we always try to empower the youth to know more about so that they can achieve what the UAE is trying to achieve. In recent years, we have witnessed a remarkable awakening among the youth who are actively demanding change. And this is a beautiful shift that we are seeing. Their voices have resonated across the globe, challenging policy makers, governments and businesses to prioritize climate action. And here in the UAE, in a couple of months, in November, COP28 has been asked to be led by youth. And I cannot think of even a more bold strategy than that. The youth are at the forefront of this global movement, and their potential in driving positive change cannot be understated. As we delve into this crucial discussion, we have three main objectives here that we would love for you to take away as you leave. One, raise awareness about climate issues and the importance of sustainable practices. Second is amplify the voice of the youth, and thanks to you ahead of time, by addressing their ideas, opinions, and perspectives on climate mitigation. And the third is share knowledge and best practices of innovative solutions from the youth to the youth, thus inspiring and empowering others to take action. Before I proceed, I truly want to thank you ahead of time of what I know, the great insights you will share with us. But let me just take a couple of minutes to introduce you. On my right, Ahmed Al-Amiri, political science student from UAE University and a future sustainability leader from Youth for Sustainability. Hassan Kanjo, a sustainable and renewable energy engineer graduate from the University of Sharjah and as well a future sustainability leader. Zaina Al-Hashimi, Senior Sustainability Specialist from ADNOC, and I'm personally very proud to welcome you as an AGF scholar as well, who has a master's degree in sustainability leadership from Arizona State University. Mariam Al-Mazroui, wonderful to have you as well here. Mariam holds a bachelor degree of petroleum geoscience from Khalifa University. You have to teach us about this today. Mariam is currently training as a user support engineer and petroleum geoscientist at ADNOC, and recently as well she graduated from one of the upskilling programs in the foundation Siraj with CNN, which is about storytelling and communication. Thank you ahead of time, and maybe I can just kick the conversation with Mariam. Mariam, the UNESCO produced a report in 2022. This report says that 70% of young people surveyed globally say that they cannot explain climate change or can only explain its broad principles or do not know anything about what is climate change and what is the risk that we have in the world. With this very high rate of youth unawareness, I would love to know your reflections. Why is this the case? And from your personal experience as a fresh graduate, as a specialist in sustainability, how we can go around that, and maybe some examples from your personal life, please.
I think that youth globally have limited knowledge in climate change because they're not fully aware of the consequences of climate change. And the thing about youth is that they are receivers rather than researchers. So not all of them will make up the time to research about the topic in depth, except only the main highlights. So that's why we need to raise awareness by having more engagement with them, participate in different activities, volunteering, rather than just giving them papers and documents for them to read.
Thank you very much. And I think this resonates with one of the ladies that was just here, and I love that she said, like, she is not aware, but she's here because she wants to know more. Maybe Ahmad, you're right now, you are a student at the UAE University as political science. Building from what Mariam said, she's saying that maybe they need to go and do some research themselves. But how do we start this cycle? What do you think universities, schools, academic institutions, wherever the kids are, what do they need to do to get the youth more aware of this challenge, given that you are right now on a campus, you deal with the academia sector, and you have colleagues around you from the university?
Okay, so in schools, to begin with, they should try to initiate more extracurricular activities. For example, I used to study natural disasters, and it kind of gave me a very small insight of what sustainability and how we can tackle some changes. And in universities, we're starting to do many negotiations, talks, and there's been a lot of audiences and crowds and attendees. And recently, there's also been somewhat of a climate negotiation simulation in my university, which was an hour and a half long, but it was very insightful. And the experience that we have as a student, it was very, let's say, it was an experience, a new experience, to be exact.
And do you think there is enough happening at universities? Like, would you knock the door of your provost right now at uni and say, hey, let's do more? Do you think universities, administration have the appetite to bring more initiatives that raise awareness of the students they have on campus?
Well, since it's the year of sustainability, our university is starting to build up on it. As I've said, climate talks, negotiation simulations, and many activities. And of course, we even have a sustainability club in my university as well. And hopefully, if the provost watches the live stream, he knows that we need to do more activities, because I think it's not enough. We need to do more, because we have a basic understanding. As Mariam Mazroui said, we are receivers, not researchers. Yeah. So maybe we need the foundation to start researching as well, to get the best of both worlds as well.
Yeah, I do agree with you, in particular because research says, and all research recently has been conducted, the youth are excited to make a change. The thing is that sometimes they don't know how or where to start, and the how. They want to do the change, but they're not sure about the how. Zainab, do you think would love your thoughts on how do you think, again, I want to focus a bit more on education in this section, why it's important for high school graduates to think about going into degrees in sustainability, given that you are a graduate in the sustainability sector. How does it really allow them to make a change in the world?
Okay, first of all, thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to be here, and I'm very proud to be part of this discussion. For me personally, I think there's no escape nowadays in terms of whether or not individuals or youth are able to relate to sustainability in their education. The UAE and other countries are making sure that sustainability challenges or sustainability ideas or the concept is embedded or rooted in any major. So whether you do finance or marketing or business or even architecture and design, somehow now the curriculum will enable you to tap into sustainability at one point or another, because sustainability is holistic and it's super different from one person to another. It can depend on your race, your gender, your geographical location. Yeah. So it really does affect everyone differently. And it's so important for you to either try to go ahead and, you know, earn a degree or even just a course in sustainability to open up yourself to like an ocean of tools, because it really will allow you to do two main things. One, you'll be able to develop practical skills that you will be able to use today, because the challenges of sustainability and climate change is happening now. It's not something that's happening in the future. It's not something that's intangible. We feel it today, we live it today. And so in order for you to be able to tackle these situations firsthand, the first thing you need to do is educate yourself. The second part of obtaining an education in sustainability, and when I say education, it doesn't have to be a 4-year program, right? You can do simple courses or do podcasts or talks, is leadership and advocacy. So sustainability will enable you to become, studying sustainability will enable you to become better leaders, because it will equip you with better communication skills. You will be forced to engage with different stakeholders. So you will be able to develop that skill of engaging with stakeholders, building up cases and, you know, advocating for solutions, because like I said, you're living it right now. So it's very important.
Thank you very much. Hassan, you are an engineer and you are a researcher. According to the UN Environment Emission Gas Report, global greenhouse gas emissions have reached record levels. The report also indicates that the world must cut emissions by 40%, 45% to avoid a global catastrophe. You're an expert in that. Can you please kind of clarify for us, who are non-engineers, non-experts in sustainability, what does that mean, please? How gloomy are these statistics in very simple words, and what we as ordinary people can do around that, please?
So regarding the sustainability and regarding the numbers that you said, so first of all, carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases, such as methane, for example, are gases that harms the environment in some way or another. So let's talk firstly about the global warming. When we have more carbon dioxide, the carbon dioxide doesn't allow the sun radiation to go out of the earth, so it's only stuck in the earth. So that's how we can, or that's how the earth temperature is rising. The UN put a goal to limit the temperature rise on average to 1.5 degrees Celsius. But actually, and from the, like, let's say, the bad habits that people do and the countries and companies do, the numbers are like booming right now. For example, China, Mongolia, for example, are one of the most economical countries that are here now. China has the second largest economy in the world. But if you went to their regulations, they don't have like true regulations regarding the carbon dioxide and how it can be reduced. But we can, as youth and as people around here to change our mentality or how we deal with it. So, for example, one light bulb here annually can produce 150 kilograms of carbon dioxide. Only one light bulb. Imagine 10, 100, 1,000. So, if just changing small behavior, we will save the environment and save the whole world. And the other problem here is that the ice is started to melt in Antarctica. So the higher the temperature, the ice is melting, the sea levels are rising, so some countries will vanish. This is one of the things that might happen the next 20 or 30 years. So we have to start taking actions right now to save the environment and save the whole world. That's it.
Thank you for simplifying us. And I think this kind of tell us, you know, in the introduction of this discussion, it's really not only about us, it is this future generation that's coming and how we can make it safer for them and try to avoid the environmental crises that's happening that we're seeing more and more, unfortunately, of them. I was so looking forward for this question for you, Ahmad, and part of what Hassan is saying is that those small changes that we can make that together can make a huge difference. So I got to know that you have an Instagram account and you're using it to voice, you know, what are the challenges around sustainability? Tell us more, how does this idea came from? Did you ever plan it? And tell us more about it.
Well, to be frank, it started off as a challenge. My friend told me that I basically knew nothing about sustainability until ADSW. And he told me, let's go to ADSW. I was like, I don't really know much about it. He's like, just go and check it out. And if you don't like it, you can go back. So I went there, I met a diverse amount of people, a diverse amount of youth from all around the world, Argentina,
You mean the
India.
conference, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I remember I also started to interview people for just to understand their points of views. And then I was lucky enough to interview His Excellency, the President of Palau, Sir Angel Phillips. And my friend Saif was recording the whole interview, and I was very nervous in the beginning. And we kept on talking, and it was very natural. So I found out that I had something going on. And I'd like to say that my page is somewhat a voice for the voiceless. For example,
Beautiful. Voice for the voiceless.
Many people have been asking questions through the messages, through the comment sections, and when I gave them the insight, just the basics of sustainability and how we can raise awareness, everyone started to hop on board. So I see it as if it's like a ship that's sailing, and everyone's hopping on board with us of the sustainability ship, and together we can create something very big. And social media is, to me, is the priority. It's the #1 platform that we can use.
Yeah, yeah. And I have to say what I love about this as well is that you didn't know about sustainability and you started interviewing people around sustainability. One of them is the president of Philips. So that is really amazing. Thank you very much. And I hope it's a kind of a call of action for everyone. Like if you really have a dream, even if you don't know where it's going to go, just start on it and it just opens up for you. Each one of you, it's a very interesting panel for me because like each one of you is doing it in a different way. Mariam, you have a degree in petroleum geoscience. I tried to research that. And it's very intriguing for me. Tell us more about this very unique niche, I think, program. And how are you going to use your knowledge and expertise in making a change within the sustainability sector, please?
So petroleum geoscience can contribute to climate mitigation in several ways. One of them is CCUS, which is carbon capture, utilization, and storage. A petroleum geoscientist can use their knowledge of the subsurface to find a suitable location to store the carbon and use their expertise to verify the effectiveness of the storage site. They can also be in geothermal energy, where petroleum geoscientists can use their subsurface reservoir knowledge to find geothermal energy resources. Geothermal is a source, is a renewable source that find clean and sustainable power. They can also be involved in finding alternative energy resources such as wind, hydrogen, solar. So these are all, they can use the information of the geological subsurface to find where to locate these renewable energy. So it's kind of everywhere.
Yeah, so basically to try to understand that is finding alternative clean energy solutions, right, to minimize the emissions of CO2. Great, and I think here one thing to go back to kind of education at school is that for all of us and for the youth to be inquisitive, to know more about kind of the programs out there that raise your awareness. What can I study? How can I increase my knowledge so I can really make a difference in my work and within my capacities? Zaina, I'll come to you. So you're at ADNOC, you're a specialist, you're an environmental advisor. I would love to hear from you. What are some innovative solutions of initiatives you have come across and that really made a difference? And how can, if possible, youth participate in it? So if you can share with us some innovative solutions that you think it's worth for us to know about and how it made a change, how it's made a change and how it's making a change.
Okay, so over the past 10 years, I think I've come across a huge amount of solutions, you know, whether people consider them innovative or not, that can tackle sustainability in general. There's, like I said, many different aspects that we can turn into. One specific one that stuck to my mind and I think is very relevant here, especially for the youth, was seeing the Sustainability Club in the American University of Sharjah document how they turned just a brown piece of land into an organic farm. And it was great to see that they started off really small. They decided to use what they have. So right before they banned single-use bottles in the campus, they decided to collect all these single-use bottles and do like a small hydroponics farm. And they did a closed structure so that they were able to grow plants in all year long. So if this structure wasn't properly engineered, they wouldn't have been able to actually grow these plants. And then it flourished so well, the area flourished so well, that they were able to grow, you know, cucumbers, tomatoes, mint. And yeah, it got to the point where they were actually able to take these yield, these produce, and sell them in the farmer's market. So for me, yeah, it's not only innovative, it's holistic. It's exactly what sustainability talks about. It's bringing a group of 200 volunteers, sustainable or not, so that's the social part. Tackling an environmental issue, so, you know, or an environmental, using nature to come up with a solution. And the third part is the economic. So they were able to actually make money out of this solution. And I think they just really ticked the box. I was very proud to watch them on Instagram document this. Another thing I wanted to also mention was, I was a judge in one of, I want to give credit to, do you know Emirates Environmental Group, EEG? I want to give credit to them because they do this every year.
I think it's led by Mrs. Habiba Al-Marashi.
Yes, they're great.
All my respect to her.
Yeah,
she does a great job.
Very, very good. They do a yearly competition, if you guys don't know, on public speaking on environmental issues. And I know it's public speaking, but still, you would be surprised by the amount of talent, expertise, and knowledge within this age group. They get students from like 13 age to 18. And some of the topics include things like sustainability post-COVID, sustainability and technology, sustainability and engineering. And I was taken back by the level of knowledge. They were talking about things that I knew 2-3 years down my work experience. So I was shocked. So for me, embedding education, going back to this whole concept and talking about climate and youth action, really, really makes a huge difference. What I know today, youth, okay, maybe I'm not considered part of the youth age group anymore, but youth today know and they take to heart, which is really great. Yeah.
Thank you. No, these are amazing. Thank you for sharing these initiatives. And as you said, I love the word you used. It's holistic because it kind of crosses so many angles. It increases, awareness and education about it. It has economic angle into it. Being able to sell all these produces from the farm. So it has like a win-win on all different angles. Thank you, Zaina. And yes, ESG does amazing work, and I truly encourage everybody to go to their website because they do ask for a lot of volunteers as well. You can be part of so many initiatives, and you feel like you're really making a difference. Thank you for sharing this. Hassan, I know you have, mashallah, participated in multiple competitions, and you did win as well. And some of these competitions centered around harnessing the power of the sun to create clean and sustainable energy. This is really very interesting. Can you tell us more about this, and what impact do you believe harnessing solar energy can have on transitioning towards a more sustainable, friendly environment?
So regarding the solar energy, it's actually one of my favorite renewable energy source because sun is available everywhere, especially here in the Middle East where the sun is like burning us. So we really have a lot of sun. And one quick information that solar radiation is 1,000 watts per meter squared. And the solar panels have efficiency of around, the commercial ones are 20%. So we get 200 watts per meter squared from the sun. To power up the whole world, for example, we need 350 kilometers squared, 350,000 kilometers squared of area of solar panels to power up the whole world with clean energy. This area is just half the quarter desert that we have in the UAE and Saudi Arabia. So taking half of the desert there, only. Taking only half of the area of the desert, we can generate enough power to power up the whole world with clean energy. So the solar energy has a lot of potential. It's clean, and also it's very cheap. So that's why a lot of countries is moving to the solar energy. In addition to that, it's easy to maintain and can be like for small-sized and large-sized projects. So I can build a villa and have 2-3 solar panels on top, or I can build like a compound with a lot of solar panels on top of all the buildings and generate enough electricity and maybe sell the excess amount of electricity back to DIWA or SIWA or whatever.
How much, I'm intrigued to know, how much is this tool like used here in the UAE? Like, compared to other countries, like what are the challenges? Is it a cost element for countries to embed this? Is it a human capital? Is it that they need more people to know how to embed these tools? Tell us more about this.
Yeah, so regarding the implementation of solar energy in the UAE, we have Masdar City, for example. We have Mohammed bin Rashid Solar Park, which is one of the largest solar energy places in the UAE. So the implementation is there, but one of the main challenges that we have in the solar energy is the temperature. When the temperature of the solar panels rise up, the efficiency will go down. But it can be solved with using cooling systems and generate also electricity from the cooling system in a renewable energy way. So in addition to that, the dust that we have, the sand that accumulates on the top of solar panels, reduces the efficiency by 60 to 70%. So we need to have proper cooling, and in addition to that, proper cleaning of the solar panels to have it more efficient and to have it produce more and enough electricity to power up houses and homes that we have.
Thank you so much. I think we're quite on time. Just to, as a final round, this has been really impressive, and I think we've all learned that you can be part of the movement in so many different ways by pushing your colleagues at the university, at work, at home, embed these small changes. Final question, sometimes the youth are very excited to do a change, and they want to make a change, and they try it for 4 months, for 6 months, for a year, and then, they might be challenged or an impediment. It puts them backward. Like, kind of final word, how can we keep overcoming the challenge and stay on path of really making a difference? Just as a final note, can I start with Zaina, please?
Look, you're gonna face challenges everywhere. Like it's not just about education and sustainability, but I think be consistent is the best advice I can give you. Just shut the noise out of everything that's happening around in the world in terms of skepticism or negative thoughts from people, and just be consistent. Because, like she said, as soon as you start doing these changes and they become a habit, it doesn't really matter, what you used to do before. So consistency for me, I think, is the biggest word of advice I can give you. And stay vocal, because like you said, social media is now a new, or like the main platform for people to start voicing their interests, their perspectives. Use it. I know some people think it's bad, but I really advocate for the fact that these social media platforms can actually help you, because I'm sure you've noticed, if you search one thing, the next day, or even if you think of it, the algorithm starts changing, that your feed becomes flooded with it. So start researching about sustainability and you will automatically be hopefully an expert within a couple of months. So consistency for sure.
Thank you. Hassan, if I may? Thank you.
So I would go with different approach than what Zaina said. I would go with automation and digitalization. So whenever we have something automated, we don't have to take care about it. So for example, let's say the solar panels, they need constant cleaning. But if we bought a device that can clean the solar panel once a week, for example, so we don't have to care much about it, but we can be sure that what we want is still done, but not by us, by machines or by robots. And also by digitalization, what I mean by it, by using sensors, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and try to mix them together in a way to give you indications when you have to do something, or when you have to change something, change behavior of yourself to have a more sustainable way of living, for example.
Amazing, thank you. تفضل أحمد.
Well, I'd say that all of us affected in our special ways, as I've said before, but attending, learning, gaining the knowledge, and especially believing in yourself, because many people get scared of, let's say, talking. And in the beginning, I gave a small piece of advice during ADSW, which was, we're in Arabic, دولة لا مستحيل. Nothing is impossible in the UAE. And even if you're not in the UAE, you yourself, if you engrave that thing, engrave this belief in yourself, you can reach many different heights. And one of the challenges was you can't stand in front of a camera and interview people. You can't talk to the president. You're going to be nervous. And I stood in front of the challenge. Instead of going to the other road, just face the challenge, because they're just small bumps in the road. And it's like driving a car, go to the bumps and just go to the hurdles and then just go straight. And it's basic.
I love it. Thank you, Ahmed. Last but not least, Mariam.
I think you kind of covered the whole thing. So yes, so don't give up. Just remember that all the smallest actions you're making are making an effort. So and you're being heard. Your voice matters. So make use of social media, as Zaina said, and be influenced by Ahmed. We'll make sure we'll follow him. So use this opportunity, even by just scrolling through Instagram, you will see so many opportunities that I sometimes cannot catch up to it. So use these and take it to your advantage to make your voice be heard. If you have an idea, I think right now you can also, if you have an idea, they can also fund you to start up an organization. So use that to your advantage.
Especially in this beautiful country where the youth is truly empowered to make a change. They have the platform to suggest, to ask, to innovate, to be supported. You cannot imagine what I learned. I learned a lot. Thank you so much. What a beautiful summary to end with. I'm going to use what you said. So embed the strategy of دولة اللا مستحيل in your everyday thinking. Be consistent, be inquisitive, learn, earn the knowledge, stay vocal, leverage automation and AI and digital technology into your knowledge so that you can make a change. Thank you so much for your very authentic, technical, knowledgeable insights. I'm gonna ask the audience now if they have any questions before we wrap up. If anybody has any question, please. Maybe if you can use the mic, please. Thanks.
I'm noticed that there are some majors that have this awareness about sustainability. Like they'll give them assignments about researching about the topic or ideas from their information and all that. But for some courses, there's no place for this external research. So, for example, as machine learning, we mostly talk about the computational part of the system rather than talking about the sustainability itself. So how can we improve this so that courses that don't embed this type of research would be able to embed it?
Anybody would like to take that? Yeah.
First of all, you have to raise it in your university. So make sure that you actually ask them to give you the same amount of 101 on courses of sustainability to the major. I honestly don't know machine learning exactly, but if you are seeking that education in sustainability, I would suggest either do it on your own time or make sure that the university offers that 101 to all majors, so you can voice that concern. I think maybe you can give a bit of an insight on machine learning and sustainability integration technology.
Before going to my friend Hassan, the important word is taking the initiative. Not waiting on the opportunity to come to you, you go to the opportunity and find it. Because it was the same thing with me. I couldn't find anything in the university that was really related to sustainability until I searched and I found the sustainability club. I found the different trips the certain clubs were doing. And through that, I started being interested even more in learning it. And I started doing it on my own as well.
Yeah, and regarding the machine learning and the things that happen in university, sometimes even the professors or doctors need some guidance. So maybe if you ask them gently to encourage the sustainability, they would do it. Or maybe if the university president asked them or anyone to encourage more sustainability, it would be more implemented. And I have other thoughts about the sustainability itself. It shouldn't be in every in every field, but it's related to every field. So for example, in your machine learning, you can say algorithms, for example. You learn algorithms, but one of the implementations of algorithms, for example, you can use ant-lion optimization algorithm, which is one of the algorithms that I used to learn. You can use it to in the tracking of solar panels with the sun itself. So it's the machine learning itself is not related to sustainability, but it can be in a way or another to be connected with the sustainability. So you have to find the connection. That's it.
Thank you. I think we have another one.
I want to also reply to your question. So I studied a bachelor's in chemical engineering and currently doing my master's in data science. So data science has to do with machine learning, and actually your major is very, very powerful. Like for example, as a chemical engineer and after working with the site, I noticed that it's important to utilize machine learning to do models. For example, optimization, prediction, forecasting. And these models are very important. Like for example, you can deploy a model and be like, okay, in my plant or on the site or whatever domain, in order to get, let's say, for example, this product, I use this amount of energy or I emit this amount of, let's say, CO2. So with your model, you can come up with a model that tells me this is the best operating point at this exact point in order to get this specific product that I want. My plant should operate at these conditions, and how would I be able to know these conditions they will come from the model? And even currently looking back at my university, the American University of Sharjah, I noticed that a lot of students, like mainly graduate students in the chemical engineering department. They are collaborating with other students from the computer science department as well to help them with with creating the models. And at the end, it's a combination. It's a combination between us, the people who have the knowledge of the domain, regardless of the domain, like whether any domain, like not only chemical engineering, and you guys. So together, like with my knowledge of the domain and your knowledge in the programming, we can come up and find solutions to like sustainability related problems. Like the main issue with, let's say, industries is that, okay, if we go for sustainability, this might impact our profit. However, no, like by utilizing knowledge of domain of different like sectors and the machine learning, we can maintain the profit and at the same time reach the sustainability goals. So your major is very powerful, and you have to start not getting back to your professors, but no, approaching professors from other departments and asking them, like, I have this knowledge and it's the trend now. How can I help you? What are the problems like that you have? Like in industry, they call them business cases. But for sure, like in university, like the professors, they have maybe collaboration with some industries, or they have some problems that they are working with, and they will be more than happy like to find people like you with your knowledge in machine learning to support them on solving like the issues.
So much. Very well said, and thank you for the intervention. And it's truly about collaboration and putting expertise together to make a difference. Very well said. Before I wrap up, one more question, two more, if we're okay with that. Quick ones, please. Yeah, تفضل. We need a mic over. Yeah. Use yours.
So, at first, of course, I would like to thank Malak Al-Haj as the moderator for this panel. It was really an enrichful discussion to have you all. Second, تحياتي لأحمد العامري شباب جامعة الإمارات وطلبة بن هويدين الكدبي حياك. I would like to address one point that also Ahmed have mentioned, is that opportunities, as he just said, يعني, we consider opportunities, either they are there and we make use of them, and if they are not there, we go down and we create the opportunities. And there is one really main point that really, as Ahmed said, the UAE is being the country دولة الله مستحيل يعني. They are having three main pillars and three main points that's making the success around the sustainability topic. The first thing is they have the policy drive. So policy is really a big facilitator for this, of course, drive towards sustainability. The second thing is, of course, that we need to make sure of is such educational discussions and panels to drive awareness for all levels of people regarding sustainability aspects. The third one is the economical drive. Without these three main pillars, the drive to sustainability can never happen. We are really, really like glad to be in the UAE, a country which has, as we said, these three pillars: the policy, economy, and education. And really, when you come to see the work in every pillar of these pillars, you are gonna get amazed. For example, in the economical point of view, I believe, as Zina is one of the ADNOC people, these people, they have, for example, in speaking about the economical perspective, one of the main things that they do evaluate, for example, potential business partners in even like handing over contracts to business people, they do focus on the sustainability, for example, perspective in evaluating all of the business partners that they do work with. So this is, of course, one main point. Another main point we can see in education, how the educational institutions here in the UAE are intervening the sustainability topic, not only at the university level, for example, but also at school level as well. The third thing is the policy drive. We see how, for example, this year as the year of sustainability, how they are hosting COP28, for example. So all of this creates the ecosystem in order to facilitate this drive to sustainability. So thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you so much. So we don't delay people. Sarah, is it a quick one? Yalla. Yes. It clicked.
What was that story that got you into sustainability?
My start was actually at school when I first came to the UAE when I was grade 7. I started participating in competitions regarding robotics and renewable energy sustainability. It was like not a trend at that time, but it was still a thing that we were doing. One of the most important competitions that I participated was with DIWA. So we built a small smart city and that has solar panels, wind energy, and we won actually in the top 5 of the competition. So that was my start, but I needed another push. When I was at grade 9, one of the new teachers that I had was studied sustainable and renewable energy engineering in University of Sharjah. He started working in Ministry of Education, and he started guiding us towards more sustainable living and more like using renewable energy. So I asked him more about how did he know, and I actually knew his background was in sustainable and renewable energy. So I started searching more about the topic itself, the department, the study itself, and I started with the sustainable and renewable energy engineering, and alhamdulillah, I graduated this year. That's it.
For me, it was waste. Like I told you, I was on a very difficult project. I was trying to convince people miles and miles away to reduce their waste because we had an issue. And then I started looking at my own waste. I needed to walk the talk, like I said. I started to look at my own controlled environment so that I can be able to actually make a difference. And it boomed from there. You'd be shocked by the amount of small swaps that you can do at home. Whether your beauty routine, whether your food intake, the things that you buy from clothes to groceries, and I was able to reduce my waste by more than 50% in less than 6 months. And I just started cascading it out. Some people at home are not very happy with the changes, but alhamdulillah, now it's become a habit.
For me, started in university days. Like as a petroleum geoscientist, you would think it's a thing that is against sustainability, especially with the oil and gas production. But no, we can use it like to reduce the gas emissions from these productions. So from there, I found out there is sustainability in everywhere, even with the production of one of the main causes of it. So it started from there.
Much, Mariam, Zaina, Hassan, Ahmad. That has been impressive. Thank you for everything. Thank you for the audience. And of course, thank you for Youth for Sustainability initiative by Masdar and for the Ministry of Education for hosting us. I hope you enjoyed. We've learned together, and thank you so much. And I'll wrap it up and have a lovely afternoon and evening, everyone. Thank you.